Today is another record day of COVID cases, with 1,290 new cases in New South Wales alone. There are 840 people in hospital in New South Wales, 137 of those in intensive care. The Prime Minister congratulated the New South Wales Premier for not locking down Bondi at the start of an outbreak, which has now spread to Victoria, here in Canberra and New Zealand. Was this a mistake?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Those matters have already been addressed by me and the Premier of New South Wales, Mr Speaker, and I note also today with the onset of the Delta outbreak that has not only just impacted on New South Wales but on Victoria and indeed the Australian Capital Territory where we are right now, Mr Speaker, and as cases continue to grow and if you look at the epidemiological curve for Victoria, it's in the Financial Review today, and you compare it to what's happening in New South Wales, you'll see a very similar profile. And we hope with the measures that the Victorian government has taken, Mr Speaker, that curve will indeed bend in the weeks ahead. And we certainly hope that is the case. But what we do know is the Delta strain has been unlike every other element of this virus that we've seen today and has completely changed the way in which we seek to manage these issues. Mr Speaker, it is also very sad today that we learn that there have been 1,000 people who've fallen to COVID as a result of this pandemic over the last 18 months. And here we are on the 30th of August of 2021, where 1,000 people in this country have now fallen victim to that virus. And we know overseas, Mr Speaker, that many fell around the world, and indeed they hit that mark in the United Kingdom back in March of last year. Same in the United States, same in France, in April in Canada, Mr Speaker, in September in Israel. This pandemic has reaped a heavy toll, imposed a heavy toll on the entire world, Mr Speaker, and our efforts are focusing on combating it as best as we possibly can. And as a country, more than 30,000 lives we know have been saved in this country because of the combined efforts of our government together with the governments at a state and territory level, and most important of all, the great work of Australians around the country doing what they need to do each and every day. And on a day where we have seen those cases rise, where we have seen more than 1,000 cases a day now, becoming more regular, particularly out of New South Wales. We can also say on the weekend 379,114 Australians, Mr Speaker, went and got vaccinated. And that is a great cause for hope.